Have you ever paused to ponder the numerous names and titles of Christ? It's an intriguing thought, isn't it? Each name, each title, carries a world of meaning, shining a unique light on the multifaceted character and mission of Christ. They are not just labels or identifiers, but profound revelations. They are the keys that unlock the understanding of His divine nature, His purpose, and His eternal love for humanity. These names, these titles, they give us a glimpse into His grandeur, His compassion, His wisdom, and His sacrificial love. They guide us on our spiritual journey, helping us connect with Him on a deeper, more personal level. They remind us of His promises and reassure us of His presence in our lives. So, are you ready to embark on this enlightening journey? Let's dive deep into the scriptures to discover these titles. The Alpha and Omega, a title found in Revelation 1, 8, 21, 6, and 22:13. This title of Jesus Christ is penned in the final book of the biblical canon, the book of Revelation, which is rich in symbolism and apocalyptic language. The Alpha and Omega are the first and last letters of the Greek alphabet, respectively. In ancient times, these letters symbolize the beginning and the end, the first and the last, the start and the finish. This title then, when applied to Christ, stands as a profound affirmation of His eternal nature. Imagine, if you will, a circle. A circle has no beginning and no end. It's continuous, infinite, and in its perfect roundness, it represents wholeness and completion. This is a helpful way to perceive Jesus as the Alpha and Omega. He is the beginning of all things, the one through whom all things came into existence, and He is also the end, the ultimate goal of all creation. There's an awe-inspiring depth to this title. It tells us that Christ is not bound by time as we are. He transcends it. He is eternal, everlasting, without beginning or end. He was there before the world began. He is present now, and He will be there in the end. In understanding Christ as the Alpha and Omega, we get a glimpse into His divine nature. We see His omnipresence, His immortality, His infinite power. It's a reminder that He is the source of all life, the creator of the universe, and the one who holds all of existence in His hands. This title also carries a comforting promise. If Christ is the beginning and the end, it means He's there at the start of our journey. He's with us every step of the way, and He'll be there at the finish line. Our lives, our stories are held within His eternal narrative. Indeed, the Alpha and Omega is a title that's as profound as it is comforting. It offers a glimpse into the divine, into the eternal nature of Christ, and into the grand narrative of creation and redemption. As the Alpha and Omega, Christ is the beginning and the end. Another title is the Good Shepherd, found in John 10, 11, and 14. This title is rich with symbolism and significance, and it paints a vivid picture of Christ's caring and protective nature. In the ancient Near East, where this title originates, shepherds were the epitome of protectors and providers. They were responsible for the welfare of their flock, ensuring they were well fed, safe from predators, and constantly watched over. The shepherd was the one who would lead his flock to lush pastures and clear waters, and if a sheep strayed, it was the shepherd who would tirelessly seek it out and bring it back to safety. In the same way, Christ, as the Good Shepherd, is our protector and provider. He guides us through the journey of life, leading us to spiritual nourishment and refreshing our souls. If we stray from the path, He seeks us out, guiding us back to safety with a love that is relentless and unconditional. The Good Shepherd is not just a provider and protector, but also a self-sacrificing Savior. As stated in John 10:11, "I am the Good Shepherd. The Good Shepherd lays down His life for the sheep." This signifies Christ's ultimate sacrifice on the cross, where He laid down His life for us, His flock, so we may have eternal life. Christ's role as the Good Shepherd also signifies His intimate knowledge of us. In John 10:14, He says, "I am the Good Shepherd. I know my sheep, and my sheep know me." This speaks to the personal relationship Christ seeks with each of us. He knows us intimately, our strengths and our weaknesses, our joys and our sorrows. So when we reflect on Christ as the Good Shepherd, we're reminded of His protective, caring nature. We're reminded of His sacrifice, His guidance, and His deep personal knowledge of each one of us. It's a title that reassures us of his constant presence and unwavering love. As the Good Shepherd, Christ guides and protects us. The Prince of Peace is a title found in Isaiah 9:6. This name, steeped in profound meaning, points to the essence of Christ's mission: to bring peace and reconciliation to a world ensnared in discord and strife. To understand the depth of this title, let's first explore what it means to be a prince. In biblical times, a prince was more than just a royal title. It signified a person of power, someone who had the authority to make decisions and influence outcomes. It denoted a leader, a commander, someone with the ability to guide and direct. So when we speak of Christ as the prince, we are acknowledging his divine authority and leadership. Now let's ponder on the latter part of the title, of peace. Peace, as used in the Bible, is not merely the absence of conflict or turmoil. It's a state of wholeness, completeness. It's about harmony and unity. It's a sense of well-being that runs deep, touching every aspect of our lives, physical, emotional, and spiritual. It's a state of being where everything is as it should be. When Christ is referred to as the Prince of Peace, it points to his mission to restore us to a state of peace, to mend what's broken within us and in our world. Christ's peace is not like the fleeting, superficial peace the world offers. His peace is enduring and transcendent. It withstands the storms of life, providing a sanctuary of tranquility amidst turmoil. It's a peace that passes all understanding, a peace that guards our hearts and minds. In essence, the title Prince of Peace encapsulates Christ's role as our divine leader, guiding us towards a state of complete peace. It serves as a reminder of his mission to bring reconciliation, to mend what's broken, and to restore harmony in our lives and our world. And so we find comfort in the knowledge that, as followers of Christ, we are not left to face the storms of life alone. In the midst of chaos and uncertainty, we can look to our Prince of Peace for guidance and assurance. As the Prince of Peace, Christ provides tranquility amidst turmoil. Christ is also known as the Bread of Life, a title found in John 6:35. This title, the Bread of Life, is not just a metaphorical label. It's a profound declaration that goes right to the heart of Christ's role and mission. When we think of bread, we think of something that nourishes us, that sustains us, that keeps us alive. Bread is a staple in many diets around the world. It's something we consume daily, and without it, we'd feel the pangs of hunger. This is the physical role bread plays in our lives. Now let's take a moment to contemplate the spiritual parallels. As the bread of life, Christ is the spiritual sustenance we need. He's the nourishment for our souls. Just as our bodies need physical food to function, our spirits need spiritual nourishment to thrive. And that's where Christ comes in. In the Bible, Christ says, "He who comes to me will not hunger." This means that those who accept Christ, who form a relationship with him, will find spiritual satisfaction. Their spiritual hunger will be satiated. They will find a sense of fulfillment and peace that they haven't experienced before. But the title, the Bread of Life, signifies even more than that. Bread in many cultures is a symbol of community, of sharing, of togetherness. When we break bread with someone, we're sharing something essential. We're participating in a communal act. In the same way, Christ, as the Bread of Life, invites us into a spiritual community. He invites us to share in the spiritual sustenance he provides. Think about it. The essence of life is not found in solitary confinement. It's found in relationships, in community, in love. And as the Bread of Life, Christ brings us into a community of love, a community of shared spiritual sustenance. In conclusion, the title, the Bread of Life, encapsulates Christ's role as our spiritual sustainer, as our source of spiritual nourishment, and as the one who brings us into a community of shared spiritual sustenance. As the Bread of Life, Christ nourishes our spirits. The last title we will discuss is the True Vine, found in John 15:1. This title is profound, brimming with rich symbolism. It's not just a name. It's a metaphor that gives us a vivid image of our relationship with Christ. When we think of a vine, we think of a plant that's interconnected, where each part is essential for the whole to thrive. This image encapsulates our spiritual connection with Christ. In the ancient world, vineyards were common, and vines were a familiar sight. They were symbols of life, growth, and fertility. By calling himself the true vine, Christ is stating that he is the true source of life, the authentic sustainer of growth. He's telling us that without him we can't truly live or grow spiritually. The vine also symbolizes unity. Each branch, each leaf, each fruit is part of one single vine. In the same way, we as followers of Christ are all part of one spiritual entity. We are individual branches, but we are all connected to the same vine, which is Christ. Moreover, the idea of the true vine also underscores the importance of pruning. Just as a gardener prunes a vine to ensure its growth and productivity, so does God prune us. He removes what is unproductive in our lives, not to harm us, but to make us more fruitful. It's a process that can be painful, but it's necessary for our spiritual growth. The title, The True Vine, is a beautiful reminder of Christ's role in our lives. He is not just a distant deity, but a living, sustaining presence. He's the source from which we draw our spiritual strength, the vine that nourishes us, the gardener who prunes us for our greater good. Remember, a branch cannot survive, let alone bear fruit, without the vine. We are dependent on Christ, the true vine, for our spiritual sustenance. We need to remain in him as a branch remains in the vine to experience real growth and fruitfulness. As the true vine, Christ is the source of our spiritual vitality. We have explored several of Christ's titles, each illuminating a different aspect of his divine nature and mission. In our journey, we have encountered Christ as the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. We found this title in the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 13, a profound reminder of the eternal nature of Christ, his omnipresence in time and space. We then delved into the imagery of Christ as the Good Shepherd, a title found in the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 11. Here we see Christ's role as our protector, our guide, and our caretaker, ever watchful and ever present in our lives. We also discovered Christ as the Prince of Peace, a title that comes from the book of Isaiah, chapter 9, verse 6. This title brings to light Christ's mission to bring peace to our hearts and our world, a peace that surpasses all understanding. Our journey also brought us to Christ as the bread of life, as stated in the Gospel of John, chapter 6, verse 35. This title illuminates Christ's role as our sustenance, our spiritual nourishment, the source of our spiritual strength and growth. Lastly, we uncovered Christ as the true vine, as expressed in the Gospel of John, chapter 15, verse 1. This title portrays Christ as our source of life, the vine from which we, as branches, draw our spiritual sustenance and strength. Each title, each name, serves as a testament to the multifaceted nature of Christ, his divine mission, and his eternal love for us. They are not just words, but gateways to a deeper understanding of his divine nature and his role in our lives. May these names and titles of Christ inspire us to deepen our understanding and relationship with him. Thank you for watching. Also, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.